Well, hello.
Oh, hello.
We're in this magical place called Trewithen Gardens. And just below me, through the fog that is not there, or the light that's coming down and hitting me, you can see my beautiful, beautiful bike.
We're going to talk about your bike?
I do love my bike.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I thought I'd do a little bit of an update, really, because with COVID and stuff, I've been out quite a bit doing tutoring and all sorts on the bike, but it's done about 2,300 miles, so it's a good time to update the video, really. I love my bike.
You want to say that again?
I love my bike. Every time I get on my bike, it's just like, I'm home. And we ride lots of different bikes and ride them here, there and everywhere. And every time I get back on this bike, I still love it. But there is a couple of things that really, 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 really annoy me.
No way.
Yeah. And I've never had that with any other GSA that I've had. And it is all down to these indicators.
Oh.
So the indicator button is there, same as the older version, although they do it in black. So it's obviously a much better version because it's different colour plastic. I don't know, but the indicators work in exactly the same way. However, on this 2021 version of the 1250 GSA, they've got this auto cancelling feature, which if BMW ever watch any of our videos, I don't know whether they ever would, if they watch our video, will you please do something about these auto cancelling indicators? So you're riding along and you indicate normally, that gives you a certain amount of range on the road in distance and it self-cancels. If you press and hold, it elongates that distance that it goes before it cancels. But we've all been bikers, we're all bikers. You're going round a roundabout in England and you go round...
That's not
I know, but I'm just thinking in my head, we go round right, don't we, as opposed to in Europe, they go left.
Say clockwise.
That's it, clockwise, wow. You know, I've used a clock for 40 odd years, I couldn't think of it. We go round clockwise as opposed to counterclockwise, like in many countries. I can't get my words out. We go round clockwise. So you're going round clockwise, you're holding on to the accelerator, and very often you're going quite slow, aren't you? And you're feathering the clutch sometimes to go round, so then you're having to fight with getting these indicators to indicate enough to indicate off. But then when you look down and you see that it's cancelled itself and you're not now indicating right, it really does frustrate me. And the fact that you're having to concentrate on holding an indicator button down to keep it indicating, or having to keep doing it so that it doesn't cancel itself, is a real annoying feature. Does it do that on yours, Mark?
Yes, it does. However, it does the like 3 or 4 flashes for when you're like on a motorway, and then it flashes I think for about 11 seconds. Yeah. Which is not long enough sometimes. You know, if you've got the 300 metre mark on a motorway, and you put it on a 300 metre mark, by the 100 metre mark it's gone off again, so it does annoy me. Yeah,
and I don't understand, because I spoke to BMW about it and they said, well, they don't think that there's anything that they can do, but it's all software stuff. I've got a 3 Series and I got a little Kali adapter and plugged it in and changed it so it did as many indications that I want. It can't be difficult on a bike, but that's the one thing that really annoys me. Second thing that annoys me, now this is kind of a love and hate thing, this is. So the lights on the back, beautiful, beautiful lights, LEDs. Now I didn't really think about this until I followed people up to Wales a few weeks ago. So there was a couple of other people with these bikes, and one of my mates, Jeremy, or one of our mates that we ride with, has got exactly the same bike as me. When you're braking, you get a nice brake light in the middle. The indicators light up, so you really do tell people behind that you're braking. If you're indicating, it flashes in the middle, and whilst you think it looks really pretty, and it looks really funky, because it is, it's not that bright when you're braking, is it?
In actual fact, you can't see it.
No. So
it's very hard to see.
Yeah, and it's still flashing, look.
Yeah.
So I'm for the first time having one of these bikes, I'm quite conscious with what's coming flying up behind me if I'm trying to indicate, especially if you're on a dual carriageway or there's something blocking the dual carriageway, or like in Europe, I mean, we've got used to it, Mark and myself. You come up behind something and there's a bit of a hazard, you put your hazard lights on. But then if I've got my hazard lights on,
where are they?
yeah. If I've got my hazard lights on and my brake light on, it's not really doing an awful lot, is it?
Not at all. Very difficult to see.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that until I saw the bike that I was following. Of course, you can't turn it off if the ignition's off, can you? Because that would be easy, wouldn't it? I didn't think about it until I was following someone and I thought, have they indicated? And it wasn't until they released their brake that you could see the indicator properly. So whilst it's a really good funky bit of kit, is it as good as it was before where we had this one on all the time and that broke? The brake light came on, but the indicator stayed flashing? Not sure. But other than that, well, forget being able to tell people what you're doing on a road, forgetting or realising that it's self-cancelled itself, so you're not actually giving the information you should do on a road, and you're riding it. It's a brilliant bike. It's the best bike I've ever had.
You're really upset by that, aren't you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it, to be honest, on my bike. On my 850, I mean, they're only months apart. I really quite like that system on my bike, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, the lights, they look really good. Certainly on the front, I mean, they look really funky. Of course, I'm too far away now with my key. They look really funky, but because there's nothing in there blocking the light, when the indicators are on, they blink off and on, the whole thing, so you definitely know you're indicating.
Yeah.
The lights are really good. I mean, it's like a 1970s sex pod.
Sex pod?
when you go on high.
You just do that again.
It's like being in a Premier Inn next to an amorous couple next door, isn't it? That's all you can hear.
My Premier Inns have quiet spots, quiet zones in there.
So they say. We've all been there. Two the hotels. Yeah, I dumped myself in that one. Other than that, I'm really loving the bike. It hasn't missed a beat, obviously. It's only done 2,300 and something miles, but it's just perfect. And this bike seems to be better controllable at slower speed.
Yeah.
Really weird. I don't know whether it's the gearing or whether it's anything to do with the gearing, but it's a lot easier. On my older ones, just to clarify that, on the older bikes that I've had, the GSAs, just doing that felt like I was all over the road at slow speed. On the RT, a lot heavier on the front, doing that felt like you were just moving a little bit. This is almost like how I feel on the RTs, where just a slight movement doesn't feel like you're moving all over the lane. You were going to say something about sat-navs.
How are you getting on with your sat-nav?
Well, this sat-nav I've had across 3 bikes now. Sometimes it decides to twist around. Sometimes it looks like a globe, but I just wipe it off and touch wood. You know, this is an English thing, touch wood, and cross everything that I've got. I've not had any issues with this, but I know that you're on your like 4th or 5th.
On my 4th Navigator 6, and because it started doing when it spins to like a little globe and it looks like a satellite looking down on the Earth, you're obviously in there somewhere. And in the end, I was just sick of it, and I phoned them up, and they said, "Oh, we'll just look on the computer." And they said, "Oh, you've done it so many times now, we'll send you a brand new one." So I've got one. It's a little bit different, I think, to the one you've got there, but I know they're going to upgrade it soon anyway. So because Garmin have got the newest Garmin out at the moment.
Oh yeah, yeah they have.
660 or something. I don't know.
But the dashboard, it's exactly the same really as the older one that I had 2 years ago. It's exactly the same dashboard. It's still got all the great bits that you can go through, all your vehicle. Now the one thing that I haven't done, like some other people have done, is decided to try and hook up the BMW connected app to the TFT, because I think I've tried it a couple of years ago and it was a nightmare. You know, it sounds like I'm knocking BMW. I'm really not. I love the bike to bits. But if you're going to make an app that should connect with this, that connects to your headset, why don't you give proper instructions on how to connect it? Yeah. And then the other thing, the most important thing, make sure it works before you do it, or before you make it, because I had nothing but trouble. So my headset, so we get asked a lot of questions. How do you connect your sat-nav to your headset? So my headset is connected to the sat-nav, and the sat-nav is connected to my mobile phone. And that's the only connection I have. I don't worry about any of this stuff on here, and it works perfectly.
I haven't got the connected app either. I binned it.
And you've got to have it running all the time as well, haven't you, on your phone?
And then it doesn't connect back to the whatever you're listening to, music or whatever. Very frustrating.
And if you do use it, on your screen it will display the speed, won't it? Because it gets that from the connected app.
Yeah.
But in the UK, apparently we've got square road signs. Well, we haven't. They're all round or triangular or octagonal. I don't know any country that's got square signs that are mandatory speed signs, do you?
No.
But in England, apparently we have a square. But if you go abroad, then they've got circles which actually look like the speed signs. Don't know why. Perhaps BMW couldn't be bothered to do it for the English market. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. In terms of other little things that come with the bike, we've got USB charging connection there. I haven't actually used it. And to be honest, even though I put the Nippy Norman ones on the old bike, I never actually used that either, because I've got another one back round the side here somewhere, which is for the DIN switch, so that they didn't, good thing, you can plug it in there, which is closer to your battery anyway, if you've got an Optimate. Other than that, I absolutely love my bike. It's not missed a beat. In fact, it's really, really good. And it doesn't seem to be corroding in the same way that the last one did.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, but first thing being that the centre stand, the whole of the centre stand looked like it had come off a 20-year-old bike on my old one that I traded in. And yet I wash it. I mean, it's dirty because we've been out riding today, but I wash it, keep it clean, certainly the bits that would corrode. And I was starting to get lots of corrosion points all over the guards on the old bike. This one don't seem to be getting any of it, and fair enough, I've been riding it in good weather a lot of the time, but I've been riding it in this horrible rain that we've been having as well. Nothing's happened at all. Absolutely really love it. Love my bike. So that's a very quick update with a few bits that I actually hate about the bike. So if you know how we can stop or how we can change the indicators, if there is actually a way, there must be some boffins out there that might watch our channel. Can you program these indicators to stop self-cancelling? Somebody answer down in the comments.
One thing you forgot to talk about was your tyres. How are you getting on with them?
Oh yeah. No.
All about the bling, isn't it?
How dare you? He knows me far too well. I've got the Bridgestone Batlax A41s, I think. They are really, really good tyres. There's no getting away from it. Even the Anarchy 3s that I hate and detest are really, really good tyres. Any tyre on a bike is far better than any talent that I can ever display on this bike. I'm not Rossi, I'm not riding around the track, so they are really, really good. Yeah, so I've got the Batlax A41s. They are really, really good, like I said. But I have noticed in this rainy weather, we all get a little bit concerned about the roads being a bit greasy, and they are at the moment because we're getting rain, then the sun's coming out, then we're getting rain, so they are quite greasy. And I have noticed today that I've had more slippage on these tyres. Mark was going to sneeze then. Have noticed today out in this, it's just not nice weather. We've had floods everywhere, so there's been rubbish put out all over the road. I've had a bit of slippage on these tyres when I'm over a little bit, which I don't think I had when I had the RoadTech 01s on there. So I don't think I'll be having another pair of these. When these are ready to be changed, I'll go to the RoadTech 01s because they're just, what do they say? They're bossing. They're just brilliant tyres.
Can you flick your fingers and all that?
Well, I can flick my fingers, but it doesn't do anything. I've never been able to do that. But that was a very quick update with a couple of real niggles to me. So, like I said, in the comments below, put if you know how we can get this changed, or if it's possible, I don't know. Let us know how you get on with the bike. Put down in the comments if there's anything you want to know about the bike, as we're riding them all the time. If things come up that we haven't thought about, and you want to know, let us know. But other than that, it's a great bike. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, that'll all be there. Don't forget your merch because it's nearly Christmas. And people will love to get a cup or a t-shirt and a hoodie. Yeah, with RiderCam written over it.
Winter.
No, I am wearing it, but it's a bit cold today, so I'm not going to take the jacket off. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.